Watching CNN News. I'm your host Manahanda, and today we're talking about a problem that has been affecting the world for the past 100 years and has seen a huge leap in the last 40, where the most destruction has happened. Of course, I'm talking about global warming. To talk more about the subject, I'm going to go to scientist Shravan Mutta, who will explain more.
Hello, myself Shravan Mutta, member of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, which is also known as UNFCCC. Today, let's talk about global warming. So global warming, it's an issue that needs to be very serious. It's going for about 100 years but has seen a huge increase in the past 40 years. Global warming is basically the current increase in temperature on the Earth's surface, which is both land and water, as well as its atmosphere. Average temperatures around the world have risen by about 0.75 degrees Celsius over the last 100 years. About two-thirds of this increase have occurred since 1975. You will think that 0.75 degrees Celsius is very less, but it's actually really hot. That's because as the temperatures increase, the sea levels will increase. As the sea levels will increase, some places will be in danger of sinking underwater. Some countries like Maldives are already in threat of sinking. And if the temperatures increase like this, more countries are going to sink underwater.
Thank you. Just to be very clear, our new segment is going to be put into three parts: past, present, and future. To talk about the past, we have a British scientist, Thomas Thursfield.
Hi, I'm Thomas Thursfield. The CO2 levels in the atmosphere have been at a low 300, but ever since the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s, the CO2 levels have been rising steadily. In 1895, the CO2 levels were at a high 380, and now in the present, the CO2 levels are at 404. The reason the CO2 levels rising is due to fumes made by factories and vehicles. This is damaging Earth. The seasons are becoming out of sync in certain countries, and natural disasters like hurricanes and tornadoes are happening more often. To stop CO2 levels from rising, or to lessen it, our planet needs to switch from using fossil fuels, and we need to convert to using electricity as our main energy source.
Thank you, and I agree with that. To talk about the present, we're going to go to Vachan Tyagi, who will explain more on what is happening on now.
Yeah. So I will be talking about the main parts that is happening mostly in global warming, which is rising sea level, the first thing. The Earth's sea level has risen by 21 centimeters since 1880. Between 1870 and 2000, the sea level increased by 1.7 millimeter per year on the average, for a total sea level of rise to 221 millimeter. At the rate of sea level rise is accelerating. Since 1933, NASA satellites have shown the sea level and rising more quickly, about 3 millimeter per year. Now I will move on to wildfire. Longer and more damaging wildfire. So wildfire is basically when what is happening in global warming is the seasons are getting longer and warmer, which is bad because then the environment will catch up on fire and it will destroy everything. And this is mostly shown in the western of US. And also more destructive hurricanes. While hurricanes are a natural part of our climate system, recent research indicates that their destructive power has been growing since the 1970s. Also, because of global warming, more animals have started doing their migration, and they're going to places where they're not supposed to, but they have to survive.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you, Vachan. To talk about the future and the things that actually might impact us in the future and what our future generations will have to face with, we want to go to Brian Chen, or he for short.
Yes, thank you, Manan. So as the name suggests, this global warming phenomenon alters the climate system, altering its land, atmosphere, oceans, and ice. Although changes are small in this decade, the future may hold great world-ending consequences. These changes are affecting all the ecosystem and its living organisms, such as us humans. And I will go into further detail of why climate change and global warming is a big human risk. Severe weather disasters and its influences. Greenhouse gases from humans result into higher temperatures. and higher temperatures seem to result into weather more severe than the previous times, including the storms, heat waves, floods, and droughts. Warmer climates may vary weather patterns, resulting in wetter and drier areas. More moisture poses risk to public and health safety, which means streams, rivers, and lakes may overflow thanks to the heavier rains. This is caused by the higher humidity levels, which is also caused by global warming. Dry areas are becoming more dry, and as a result, there will be more frequent heat wave events and diseases created from the lack of water. In both spectrums, global life is going to be at risk if we do not do anything to stop it.
Yes, and this is a serious thing. Now, as the presenter, I'm not exactly supposed to choose sides, but of course I need to.
I want to tell one thing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
People have been asking this question a lot, if there's a solution to global warming, and I have an answer. There's no solution to global warming, which is normally a problem of too much heat, trapping carbon dioxide, CO2, and methane gas in the atmosphere, which acts as a blanket trapping heat and warming the planet.
Thank you. Well, that was, I think that's a pretty informative.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, and I have to pick sides and I have to present something because I have to do something. So I'm gonna tell you 4 ways how you can reduce your carbon footprint or CO2 levels, and that actually might make a difference. Air travel, first of all, is usually a large component of carbon footprint of frequent flyers. A single return flight from London to New York, including the complicated effects on the high temperature, contributes to almost a quarter of the average person's annual emissions. The easiest ways to make a big difference is to go by train or not to take as many flights. So try not to take like 3 flights. So just go in one go and come back in one go. Many people, they just have 2 to 3 stops to save money, but this puts so much carbon and so much fuel. A plane takes so much fuel and it'll burn so much more. The second most important lifestyle changing is to eat less meat, with particular emphasis on meals containing beef and lamb. Cows and sheep emit large quantities of methane, a powerful global warming gas. A vegan diet might make as much as a 20% difference to your overall carbon impact, but simply cutting out beef will deliver a significant benefit on its own. So be a vegan basically. Don't eat meat, or eat meat, but try not to consume so much, because these animals like emit a lot of methane, which is also a CO2 problem. Actually, we have a vegan with us right now who could share his experience. Shravan.
So I basically don't never eat beef and never eat any non-vegetarian things, and I think you should also try it. Like if you want to eat it, don't eat like too much, and eat it like once in a month. That's fine as well. And yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. We will try, I hope. 3. Home heating is next. Poorly insulated house requires large quantities of energy of heat, especially when you're in cold places or in really warm places. Because in cold places we have heaters, and in really warm places we have fans, and these use a lot of electricity, because heaters take a lot of electricity to produce heat for the home.
Yep.
And fans in the run all day, and this probably uses a lot of energy. So sorry, go on. Sorry.
You can use foam or other kind of materials which will not the heat won't escape from your house, instead of like wasting electricity from heaters.
Yes, exactly. The most important action you can take is to drought-proof the house, something you can do yourself. Those with solid brick or stone walls will also benefit from adding insulation, but the financial benefits are unlikely to cover the cost of doing the work over time. So yes, there is certain things like money will be costing you a lot, and it will cost a lot of money. Sorry, my bad. It will cost a lot of money, but you have to see that if you want to live on this planet for longer, and your children and so on want to live on this planet longer, you have to make decisions that will change the world. So another thing I think we all know about, and also Thomas also was talking about, was how we have to change to electric driving or
Just use electricity as the main power source.
Okay, yeah. So basically, driving matters. Reduce your mileage of a new car from 15,000 to 10,000 miles a year, and you will save more than a ton of CO2, about 15% of an average person's footprint. If a car travel is vital, think about leasing an electric vehicle, like a Tesla or a BMW i8. These cost a lot of money, but they actually help in the future run.
And if you're poor, get a hybrid.
Yeah, Toyota Prius is a very good
No,
option.
but rich people, they buy more cars just to show that they're rich.
Yeah.
And instead of buying like 4 or 5 cars, you can just give that money to poor people. That
Yeah,
might
exactly,
help
and
more.
help the world.
Yeah.
But that's
Actually,
yeah, what?
I wanted to add about electric cars.
Yeah.
As you can see, the manufacturing process is a very pollutive thing. So there's no difference between electric cars, as electric cars also cost a lot more energy than you actually using the car. So the best idea is maybe to go more on buses or just use used
Yeah,
cars.
I was getting to that. Yeah. But so yeah, exactly. The best thing actually, if you don't want to buy an electric car, is to actually go by public transport.
Yeah.
And as you see in Netherlands, they've already done this. They have made a public transports even electrical, like the buses and the taxi cabs and already the trains. They're all electrical. And if many people take the bus, it will actually save a lot of. Because if everybody takes the car, it will create a lot of pollution. And if you take in one go a lot of people to their destinations, it will reduce CO2 levels by a lot. Yeah, so thank you. This was our new segment on global warming.
We can still change global warming.
Yeah, we can still make a difference.
Yeah.
Thank you.